Hello, Pasangala. Vanakkam and welcome. This is your master teacher, Nivetha, making bio learning very, very simplified just for all of you guys. A very, very good afternoon to all of you. Hello, Roslyn. How are you? How are you guys? So, யாரெல்லாம் live join பண்ணிருக்கீங்களோ, please do put a hi in the chat section so we can go ahead. Please do let me know if my voice is clear and if the screen is visible. I am fine. I'm absolutely good. Yes. Voice clear இருக்கா? Screen visible இருக்கா? Please do let me know. ஓகே, இன்னைக்கு நான் ரொம்ப முக்கியமான சாப்டர் பண்ண போறேன். இந்த முக்கியமான சாப்டருக்குள்ள என்னென்ன பண்ண போறேன்னு சொல்றேன். Okay, so before that, if you guys want the PDF of this session, you can go get it downloaded in the link that is given in the description below. Okay, yes, all clear. Thank you for confirming. Okay, இன்னொரு முக்கியமான விஷயம், syllabus update. So என்னதான் படிக்கணும், anatomy of flowering plantsல நம்ம என்னதான் படிக்கணும்ன்றத first clear-ஆ சொல்லி கொடுத்துறேன். Okay, that's very, very, very important. And this chapter ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்டான டாபிக்கை delete பண்ணிருக்காங்க. So can anyone tell me what is deleted in anatomy in flowering plant? Secondary growth is deleted. There is no secondary growth. Okay, so முதல்ல syllabus clear-ஆ படிச்சுக்கலாம். So this comes under a unit called structural organization in plants and animals. Okay, so they have actually clubbed, இது வந்து உங்களோட syllabus ஓட snapshot. Okay, so they have actually combined morphology and anatomy and given it like this. Okay, yes, there is no secondary growth. Okay, அது முதல்ல clear-ஆ புரிஞ்சுப்போம். Yes, you have tissues. So plant tissues இருக்கு, meristematic, xylem, phloem, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, அது எல்லாமே இருக்கு. Okay, then you have to study anatomy and function. Okay, anatomy and function of different parts na enna, you're going to read root, you're going to read stem, and you're going to read leaf. Okay, so this comes under anatomy chapter. The rest of all the things, that is root, stem, leaf, inflorescence, all this comes under morphology chapter. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா பசங்களா? முதல்ல இந்த சிலபஸை கிளியரா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க, எனக்கு கன்ஃபியூஷனே இருக்கக்கூடாது. Okay, no one should ask me what is not there in the syllabus. There is not only your secondary growth has been deleted. Okay, you have tissues and you have the anatomy of root, stem and leaf. Okay, clear பசங்களா? Do like this live. Okay, do share this live and do comment it. இது ரொம்ப ஈஸியான சாப்டர் பசங்களா. நிறைய பேருக்கு அந்த செகண்டரி growthல தான் நிறைய கன்ஃபியூஷன்ஸ் இருந்துச்சு, and they used to ask very difficult questions from secondary growth. Okay, now that is deleted. This chapter is going to be a bonus chapter for all of you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing in today's session, I'm going to be doing very simple things. Okay, meristematic tissue, I'm going to do parenchyma, sclerenchyma, collenchyma, xylem, phloem and tissue system. Okay, and very importantly, I'm going to discuss the PYQs in today's session itself. So இன்னைக்கு எடுத்த டாபிக்ல இருந்து PYQs இன்னைக்கே நம்ம கவர் பண்ண போறோம். So please do stay with me till the end. Okay, நடுவுல விட்டுட்டு போயிட்டீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் for you to understand it. Okay, so stay with me till the end. So shall we go into the session pasangla? Yes, PYQs we are going to do, and you guys are going to answer the PYQ just like how you did it yesterday. So நேத்து எப்படி நீங்களே PYQs answer பண்ணீங்களோ, இன்னைக்கும் நீங்களே PYQs answer பண்ண போறீங்க பசங்களா. So shall we get into the session? Can I get a victory sign in the chat section? So before we continue, yes, anatomy of flowering plant, meristematic tissue and simple permanent tissue is what we are going to discuss. Okay, yeah, முதல்ல எப்படிப்பா இத கிளாசிஃபை பண்ணிருக்காங்க? What is tissue பசங்களா? Tissue na enna? It is a group of cells that have a similar origin, they have a similar function, they have a similar structure, function and origin. அததான் நம்ம வந்து tissues ன்னு சொல்றோம். And the study of tissue is called as histology பசங்களா. என்னன்னு சொல்றோம்? Histology is called as a study of tissue. There are two important kinds of tissue. One is your meristematic tissue, another one is your permanent tissue. Okay, so meristematic tissue na enna? They are found in regions of continuous cell division and growth. எங்கெல்லாம் செல் வந்து continuously divide ஆகுதோ, there I can see meristematic cells. Okay, then what is permanent tissue? The meristematic cell become permanent in nature. They gain a function, we call it as is differentiated. The meristematic cell gets differentiated into a permanent tissue. That is what we call it as permanent tissue pasangla. So meristematic and permanent tissue are very, very important. In the permanent tissue, rendu vidhamana permanent tissue irukku, simple permanent and complex permanent. I think this you would have studied in 9th standard biology, correct? CBSE biology la 9th standard la இந்த entire topic பண்ணிருக்கோம். அதே தான் நம்ம இப்ப ரிவைஸ் பண்ண போறோம் with some interesting points or extra points here and there. Okay, that is all we are going to do. இந்த மெரிஸ்டமேட்டிக்ல ரெண்டு விதமான மெரிஸ்டமேட்டிக் இருக்கு. ஆக்சுவலி மூணு விதம், எபிக்கல், லேட்ரல் அண்ட் இன்டர்கேலரி. Okay, இந்த ஒரு flow chart நீங்களா எழுதிக்கலாம், or you can even take a screenshot, or you can even download the PDF in the chat section. Okay, permanent tissue, they are of two types, simple permanent and complex permanent. What is simple permanent and what is complex permanent? Simple permanent means they are made up of same kind of cells. Same kind of cells. Okay, complex permanent na ரெண்டு different cells வந்து வரும். Okay, so different cells. So simple permanent la மூணு விதம் இருக்கு. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, and then you have complex permanent in that you have xylem and phloem. Okay, ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான விஷயம். ஒன்னொன்னா அதோட ஃபங்க்ஷன் என்ன, அதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியமா கேட்பாங்க. வேர் இஸ் இட் present, what is its function? That is very important from NEET exam point of view பசங்களா. And understanding this will help you understand anatomy easier. Okay, section of root, section of leaf and section of your stem. இது மூணு உங்களுக்கு புரியணும்னா இந்த tissues எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு clear-ஆ புரியணும் பசங்களா. So let's start with meristematic tissues. Okay, have you guys did mitosis experiment? 12th la mitosis experiment பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா? Did you guys see the cell division? We'll take onion root, correct? And onion root la we will take the tip of the onion root. We will not take that entire root. We'll take the tip of that onion root. Okay, we will place it on a glass slide. We will add a few drops of HCl and eat it so that the tissue gets fixed. Okay, and then we will add little bit of stain and we will gently tap it. Gently tap panni, we will view it and we will view it under microscope by placing a cover slip. You can see so many different stages of mitosis pasangla, because your meristematic tissue contains rapidly dividing cells. Yes, you have done it. Yes, very good. Can you name few stages what you guys have seen? Okay, so in the meristematic tissue enna pannona, they produce cells that differentiate into secondary tissues. Okay, they are rapidly dividing cells. Where they are present? They are present in the growing region. Engalla growth nadakudho angalla இந்த meristematic tissue இருக்கும் பசங்களா. Okay, so மூணு இடத்துல வந்து இந்த meristematic tissue இருக்கு. This is not types, what they give rise to. Okay, so the meristematic tissue gives rise to dermal tissue, that is your epidermis. Okay, so நிறைய பேரு epidermisக்கும் epitheliumக்கும் confuse பண்ணிப்பீங்க. Okay, epidermis is present in plant, epithelium is present in animals. Okay, then you have vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. Then you have ground tissue. We will discuss about ground tissue. Okay, so now let's try to understand what is the structure and function of meristematic tissue. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். இதுதான் நான் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். You can see so many different stages. You can see anaphase, you can see prophase, you can see metaphase, you can see telophase, you can see different kinds of stages when you see a onion root tip under microscope, because that root tip consists of meristematic cells which are rapidly dividing. Okay, let's try to understand the morphology of my meristematic tissue. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of morphology? Morphology na enna pasangla? The external appearance of a cell is called as morphology. And the cell paaka eppadi irukku adha na vandu morphology nu solren. The cells are small, romba kuttiya irukum. They are spherical. They are spherical in shape and they are polygonal in shape. Spherical or polygonal. Vacuoles are small or completely absent. Vacuoles irundha romba chinnada irukum, illati they are completely absent. Large number of cytoplasm and a large nucleus is present. That is why I am able to see all the stages. Nucleus vandu romba perusa irukum. Okay, now let's try to understand the functions. Okay, the vacuoles that is present in your meristematic cell provides rigidity to the cell, okay, preventing rapid division The lack of organelle is a feature of an undifferentiated cell. Okay, yes, external structure, external parts தான் நம்ம மார்ஃபாலஜின்னு சொல்றோம். So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of this undifferentiated cell? யாராச்சும் சொல்லுங்க. Plant growth and developmentல நான் சொல்லி கொடுத்திருந்தேன். Undifferentiatedனா என்ன? They do not have any specific function. Okay, they lack specific function. So meristematic cells எப்படி நீங்க define பண்ணுவீங்கன்னா rapidly dividing undifferentiated cells. Okay, so large amount of nuclear material contain DNA that is necessary for the division and differentiation. So இங்க பாருங்க, இதுதான் typical meristematic cell. Okay, where do you see? You see it in the root tip and your shoot tip. Okay, yes. Now, மூணு விதமான மெரிஸ்டம் இருக்கு பசங்களா. This is very very important. The first one is apical meristem. Apicalனா என்னப்பா? Apex. Apexனா என்ன? Tip. It can be present in the root apex or in the shoot apex. Okay, terminal and axillary buds of your shoot and root tips. They produce tissues that lengthen the tips of shoots and root. That means what? They are going to help in the increase in the, yes, lack of specific function. Very good. Undifferentiated means lack of specific function. So here you can see the shoot apical meristem. Can you see the root apical meristem? They are what we call it as apical meristem. So in the apical meristem will help in the increase in the height of the plant. Okay, என்ன பண்ணோம் இந்த apical meristem பசங்களா? என்னோட plant ஓட height increase பண்ண help பண்ணும். So we can put it as increase in height. It is responsible for the growth of the plant. Okay, next you have lateral meristem. Lateral meristem na enna pasangla? You can see here the meristems which are present on the lateral sides of a stem or of a plant is called lateral meristem. They are internal cylinder along the length of the roots and stems of woody plant. They thicken the root and stem. Okay, ஒரு சிம்பிளான எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். ஒரு செடி போடுறீங்க கரெக்ட்டா? So initially என்ன ஆகும்? The root, the stem will be green in color, correct? Then later on what will happen? The stem will increase in its thickness. It will become woody, right? So that process is helped by your lateral meristem. Yes. புரிஞ்சதா பசங்களா? So lateral meristem will increase the girth. Girthனா என்ன? The diameter of the stem or root is increased by your lateral meristem. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். Okay, then finally I have my intercalary meristem. So one second, I'll just adjust the screen. I hope it is fine now. Intercalary meristem enga irukku pasangala? In between the nodes of the mature stem in grasses and other monocots. Grasses liyum monocots liyum vandu in the intercalary meristem irukku. So what is node? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of node? Okay, and it helps in regrowth of tissue if the tip of the stem is removed, right? So nariya gardeners paathirpinga, they keep cutting the top part of the plant, right? Why? Because it is going to help in the regrowth of the plant. The growth will be even more better. So I asked you something. What is node? Node na enna pasangla? It is a place where your leaf arises. It's a part on the stem. So inga varudha idha nama node nu solrom. Okay, and the space between these two nodes is called as internodes pasangla. So in the moonu meristem oda function romba romba mukkiyam. Your apical meristem helps in height. Okay, your intercalary meristem and lateral meristem helps in increase in the girth. Okay, so in the increase in the height vandu nama primary growth nu solrom. So what is primary growth pasangla? It is the increase in the height of the plant is called primary growth. Secondary growth na enna pasangla? It is increase in the thickness, it is increase in the girth of the plant. That is what we call it as secondary growth. Okay, yes, tell me Rakshita, what is your doubt? I'll clear it. Okay, yeah, let's try to understand primary meristematic tissue. Okay, so your apical and intercalary meristem, adha vandu nama enna solrom? Primary meristematic tissue nu solrom. It originates from promeristem. Okay, it remains meristematic from the embryonic condition throughout the plant life at the growing apices of roots, stem and primordial of leaf. Adu meristematic tissue ah da irukum, adu meristematic tissue ah da irakum. Okay, from the time it is born till the time it is dying, it is an undifferentiated mass of cell. That is what we call it as primary meristem. So your apical meristem and intercalary meristem நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்றோம் primary meristematic tissue ன்னு சொல்றோம். Okay, what is this going to help? This is going to help in primary growth. Okay, primary growth na enna? It is increase in the height of the plant. Then you have secondary meristematic tissue. So in the secondary meristematic tissue எதிலிருந்து develop ஆகுதுன்னா they develop from primary meristematic tissue. Okay, so மூணு விதமான secondary meristematic tissue இருக்கு. So they are actually a lateral meristem. These names are very very important. நிறைய பேருக்கு confuse ஆகக்கூடிய பேரு fascicular cambium, okay, intravesicular cambium and cork cambium. Which are the three types of lateral meristem? Okay, fascicular cambium, intervesicular cambium and cork cambium. இதெல்லாம் என்னன்னு நான் உங்களுக்கு later on explain பண்றேன். They are the types of lateral meristem. Okay, cambium, it is the other name for lateral meristem. Rakshita, cambium is the other name for lateral meristem. அவ்வளவுதான். And what are they responsible? They are responsible for producing the secondary tissues. Okay, and the secondary meristematic tissue is responsible for secondary growth. Okay, so can anyone watching the live tell me what is secondary growth? Primary growth na enna, secondary growth na enna? Primary growth na pasangla, it is increase in the height of the plant. The plant is going to increase in height. Secondary growth na enna pasangla, it is the plant is going to grow in diameter. In the diameter nama innor word enna solrom, girth nu solrom. Okay, clear pasangla? What are the three types? Yes, increase in girth. So the other name for cambium, primary growth increases the height of the plant. இந்த ஒரு point clear-ஆ புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. மூணு விதமான lateral meristems இருக்கு. Cork cambium, fascicular cambium and interfascicular cambium. I'll tell you what these are when I do the anatomy part. Okay, clear? Can we go on? Can I get a victory sign in the chat section? Okay, so that is about meristematic tissue பசங்களா. இப்போ நம்ம போறது permanent tissue. முதல்ல இதை ஏன் நம்ம permanent tissue ன்னு சொல்றோம்னு சொல்லலாம். Okay, they have lost their ability to divide. Okay, அவ்வளவுதான். They don't enter the cell cycle again. Okay, they will actually die, they will grow old and they will die. Okay, very very important. They are permanently placed at fixed position in a plant body. They are called differentiated cell. Now, can anyone tell me what is the meaning of differentiated cell? Differentiated cell na pasangla, they have a particular function, specific function vandirchi. Okay, specific function or easyana example solra. Okay, nama first class la irundhu 10th class varaikkum we are all reading all subjects, correct? We don't have a specific function, but once you enter 11th you choose the subjects of your interest. Okay, you read only specific things. That is what is your differentiated. Okay, அப்படி நீங்க ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கலாம், differentiated and undifferentiated. Okay, so அததான் நம்ம permanent tissue ன்னு சொல்றோம். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். They have lost their ability to divide. Please do keep it in your mind. Meristematic tissues divide till their end, whereas your permanent tissue lose their capacity to divide and then become their fate, that is your parenchyma ஆகட்டும், collenchyma ஆகட்டும், sclerenchyma ஆகட்டும், இல்ல complex tissue ஆகட்டும். இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்க போறது simple and complex. ஏன் மேம் இத simple ன்னு சொல்றாங்க, ஏன் மேம் இத complex ன்னு சொல்றாங்க? Can anyone tell me why do we call it a simple permanent tissue? Just in the beginning of the live I told you they are called simple permanent பசங்களா because they are made up of one kind of cell. ஒரே மாதிரின செல் இருக்கும், அதனாலதான் அது வந்து simple permanent ன்னு சொல்றோம். Okay, அதுல மூணு இருக்கு, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Very very important questions come from this part. Okay, complex na enna pasangala, they are made up of more than one type of cells. Okay, inga எத்தனை cell இருக்கு? One single type. Okay, inga it is more than one type. Okay, we'll discuss. இத மட்டும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Simple na enna, complex na என்னன்றத clear-ஆ ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Shall we discuss about parenchyma first? So parenchyma நீங்க எங்கெல்லாம் பார்த்திருக்கீங்க, எங்கெல்லாம் கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்க? So parenchyma பத்தி உங்களுக்கு என்ன தெரியும்? அத chat sectionல போடுறீங்களா? Meanwhile when I discuss, okay, it is found in majority of the stems and root as well as soft fruit like tomato and grapes. Tomato and grapes வந்து ரொம்ப சாஃப்டான fruit. They are present there. They are the most common type of ground tissue. So ground tissue na enna? It is a tissue which is present, majorly present in your plants. like your epidermal tissue, vascular tissue, அதெல்லாம் ground tissues. Okay, parenchyma is responsible for storage of nutrients. Very, very important. So parenchyma வந்து ஒரு storage bag மாதிரி. This is parenchyma in stem, this is parenchyma in leaf, and this is parenchyma with stored starch. Can you see here? These are the starch granules which are present there. So can anyone watching the live tell me what is the parenchyma in leaf called? ஒரு ஸ்பெஷலான பேர் இருக்கு. நான் இதை வந்து photosynthesisலயும் சொல்லியிருக்கேன். Okay, what is the name of the parenchyma that is present in leaf பசங்களா? லீஃப்ல இருக்க parenchyma ஓட பேர் என்ன? பாப்போம் எத்தனை பேர் சொல்றீங்கன்னு. Okay, yes. So let's talk about the structure and function. So what is this? Is very important. You have to understand how they are present. I didn't get the answer still. Anybody? Parenchyma in leaf is called mesophyll. Okay, we call it as what pasangla? Mesophyll in solron. Yes, palisade and spongy. Mesophyll. So mesophyll is a common term. Okay, they are thin walled cells. That wall vandu romba thinna irukku. Intercellular spaces are present between the cell. So can you see the spaces? Okay, so இதையே நான் இவ்ளோ முக்கியமா சொல்லி தரேனா, in your exam they can give you choose the correct, choose the incorrect, which of the following are incorrect about parenchyma, which of the following are correct about parenchyma. Very good, crazy dude, correct. So அதுக்கு இந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Okay, parenchyma have large central vacuole. உங்களுக்கு எப்படி இருக்கு? ஒரு பெரிய centrally localized vacuole இருக்கு. Specialized parenchyma cell known as chlorenchyma found in plant leaves contain chloroplast. So collenchyma ன்றது வேற, chlorenchyma ன்றது வேற. This word chlorenchyma is a parenchyma which contains chloroplast. Okay, try to understand chlorenchyma. Okay, so what is நிறைய பேர் chlorenchyma னோனே you will think it as collenchyma. Collenchyma is, we have not started it. What is chlorenchyma? It's a kind of parenchyma which has chloroplast in it. Okay, அதுதான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Some parenchyma cell retain the ability to divide. Yes, it contains chloroplast. It is present there. Okay, now let's try to understand the functions of collenchyma. Idu NCERT line by line we are doing. Okay, there are thin walls for close packing and rapid diffusion between the cell. ஏன் இந்த செல்லுக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப wall வந்து ரொம்ப thinna இருக்குன்னா, because they are all closely packed and there needs to be rapid diffusion of substances. That is why they are thin walled. Okay, intercellular spaces allow the diffusion. The function of intercellular spaces is going to help in transport. It allows cells to store and regulate waste products and water, also function in providing support. So parenchyma oda function enna? Storage, support. Idu rendu clear ah ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Allows them to perform a photosynthetic function and responsible for starch storage. So can anyone watching the live tell me what kind of sugar is this starch? Starch na enna pasangla? Anyone? Romba easyana question, யோசிச்சு சொல்லுங்க. So starch is, anybody? What is starch? Starch is how your food is stored in your leaf. Okay, so this glucose is converted into starch. Correct? So photosynthesis la enna produce agudhu? Glucose produce agudhu. That glucose has to be converted into starch. Glucose is a monosaccharide. It is made up of single sugar unit. Starch is a polysaccharide. It is made up of numerous glucose units. Okay, so that difference you guys should remember, and it allows the replacement of damaged cells. இவ்வளவுதான் பசங்களா உங்க parenchyma பத்தி. So முக்கியமான function என்ன? Storage, support, photosynthesis. இந்த மூணு function you can make a note of it in your NCERT. Okay, yes. So you have some parenchyma called idioblast. I already told you parenchyma are used in storing, correct? The parenchyma involved in storage of excretory substances such as resin, tannin, gums and oils, we call it as idioblast. Okay, so here you can see this is your idioblast. It is on the cell வந்து நிறைய stored ஆன structures இருக்கும். So what is idioblast? They are a kind of parenchyma that helps in storage of tannins, resin, gums and oils. Okay, ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். Yes, chlorenchyma I already discussed. Okay, chloroplast containing parenchyma tissue are chlorenchyma. Okay, they perform photosynthesis. Example, mesophyll of leaf. So your mesophyll of leaf is made up of chlorenchyma. Okay, இத மட்டும் மறந்துடாதீங்க. Cholenchyma வேற, chlorenchyma வேற. Okay, so this is how it contains. Can you see this green color structure? They are all your chloroplast. Why is this chloroplast so important? They help in photosynthesis. More the number of chloroplasts, greater the rate of photosynthesis. Okay, clear pasangla? Can I get a victory sign? We will continue. Ippa nama poporadhu. Isodiametric means they are all similar in shape. ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கு. எல்லா செல்ஸும் ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கு. ஒன்னொன்னு ஒரு மாதிரி கிடையாது. They are all almost similar in shape. That is what we call it as isodiametric giants. Clear? Okay. இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்க போறது கோலன்கைமா. Cholenchyma is a simple permanent tissue da. Where it is found in the shoots and leaves of the plant. Okay, so they are thin wall. Iungalku thin wall da, but they have corners of the cell wall. And the corner irukla, ipo rendu cell ipdi irukuna. Okay, the corners of the cell wall, this end, they all will be thickened. Okay, they have thickenings in the cell wall, and that thickening is made up of cellulose. Okay, so you can see cholenchyma in herbaceous dicot stem, cholenchyma in thin margin of leaves, then cholenchyma in the strings of celery stalk. Okay, cholenchyma oda mukkiyamaana function yarad solla mudiyuma? Can anyone tell me what is the function of cholenchyma? It helps in mechanical support. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். ஓகே, உங்க parenchyma வந்து ஸ்டோரேஜ் photosynthesis, உங்க cholenchyma வந்து மெக்கானிக்கல் சப்போர்ட். ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம் பசங்களா. Okay, so let's try to understand the structure. Okay, I already told you cells are spherical, oval or polygonal. ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Here there are no intercellular spaces. In cholenchyma, intercellular spaces கிடையாது. உங்க parenchymaல மட்டும் தான் intercellular spaces இருக்கு. This is a potential question in your NEET exam பசங்களா. Okay, the corners of the cell wall are thickened with deposits of cellulose and pectin. Cellulose மட்டும் கிடையாது, அதை தவிர you also have pectin. Cells are thin walled on most sides. இங்க பாருங்க, நிறைய பக்கம் they are thin walled. இங்க பாருங்க, இங்கெல்லாம் thickenings இருக்கா? Can everyone see this? That thickenings is made up of cellulose and pectin. Clear pasangla? Any doubts here? Now, let's talk about its function. I already told you. This allows for close packing because there are no intercellular spaces. So, they will be closely packed. It provides structural support. It provides mechanical strength. They provide flexibility. Okay. Allowing plant to bend in the wind. இவ்வளவுதான் ஸ்ட்ராங்கா wind அடிச்சாலும் அந்த plant நிக்குதுல. எப்படி நிக்குது? Because of cholenchyma. Okay, this cholenchyma is very important. Mechanical support. They have some substance called cellulose and pectin. Okay, this is how your cholenchyma is pasangla. Can we continue? Cholenchyma is done. So the next one will be what pasangla? Sclerenchyma. Okay, in the parenchyma cholenchyma living tissue pasangla. Unga sclerenchyma is a dead tissue. What do you mean by dead? எப்படி வந்து நான் ஒரு லிவிங் செல்லையும் டெட் செல்லையும் கண்டுபிடிப்பேன்? எனக்கு ரெண்டு செல் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அந்த ரெண்டு செல்ல எது லிவிங் எது டெட்னு நான் சொல்லுவேன். Can anyone think about it? It's a logical question. Okay, I have two cells. Okay, I have parenchyma, cholenchyma, three cells கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. இந்த மூணு செல்ல எது வந்து லிவிங் எது வந்து dead? How can I? Very good, excellent. They are dead cells. They do not have protoplasm. Okay, protoplasm na enna? They don't have that watery content. Okay, no protoplasm. They are dead. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். Okay, parenchyma and cholenchyma are living. Sclerenchyma is dead. Okay, it is supporting tissue in plants, making the plants hard and stiff. ரொம்ப easy. So ரெண்டு விதமான sclerenchyma இருக்கு பசங்களா. ஒன்னு வந்து sclerites, இன்னொன்னு வந்து fibers. Okay, you can see sclerites and you can see fibers. Okay, shall we discuss about the sclerites and fibers? Can I get a victory sign in the chat section so we can continue? இப்போ நம்ம முதல்ல பார்க்க போறது sclerites. ரொம்ப clear-ஆ புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. The cells are short, isodiametric, spherical, oval or cylindrical in shape. they have lignified cell wall. Romba mukyam. In parenchyma, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. In collenchyma, the cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectin. In sclerenchyma, the cell wall is made up of lignin. Okay, what is it made up of, pasangla? Lignin. They occur in single or in loose groups. They are not tightly packed like your parenchyma and collenchyma. They occur in loose groups. Okay, now coming to the function. They protect the plant from stress and strains from the environment. They provide mechanical strength and rigidity. Unga collenchyma mechanical strength provide pannom. Unga sclerenchyma provides both mechanical strength rigidity. ரெண்டுமே provide பண்ணும். It provides grittiness to the pulp of the fruit. இங்க பாத்தீங்களா, இந்த previous pictureல பாத்தீங்களா, pearல வந்து இந்த scleroid இருக்கு. Okay, it is going to provide grittiness. அது வந்து ரொம்ப soft ஆகாம பாத்துக்கோ, these scleroids. Okay, very important. Yes. So this is scleroids pasanga. Idoda picture, this is your NCERT picture. Okay, you can see a thick cell wall here. You have a lumen at the center. Idudha oru scleroid. Okay, in between you have pits. Okay, and onnume irukadu. They are empty spaces. They are called as pits. Okay, so this is again a structure here. They have a nucleus. They have secondary cell wall which is made up of lignin. They have cytoplasm and they have pits. Okay, yes. Types of scleroids, these are not very important. Ena idu unga textbook la kedaiyadu. Just purinjukonga, just for an understanding. Okay, so you can see brachyscleroids. They are more or less isodiametric, ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்காங்க. Then you have macroscleroids, rod or column shape. Then you have osteoscleroids, bone மாதிரி இருக்கு பாருங்க. Osteona என்ன bone, they look like bone. Trichoscleroids, they look like hair-like structure. Okay, you can see here, hair-like structure. Okay, then you have astroscleroids, it look like a star. Astrona and a star. Okay, so this is not there in your NCERT. Just remember, இந்த மாதிரி scleroids வந்து நிறைய shapes இருக்கும், ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Okay, yes. Now, sclerenchyma fiber. நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி sclerenchymaல ரெண்டு விதம் இருக்கு. ஒன்னு வந்து scleroid, இன்னொன்னு வந்து fiber. இந்த fiber எப்படி இருக்கும்? Obviously, they are long. Correct? They are narrow. They have thick lignified. Narrow na romba kuttiyana cells. Okay, they have thick lignified cell, usually with pointed or blunted end. Can you see? They have a pointed or blunted tapering end. They are in transverse section. Okay, ipdi na section edutena, they will appear round or polygonal with a well-defined lumen. They occur in bundles. Okay, whereas your scleroids, they don't occur in bundles. They are loosely packed. Okay, function enna, they provide tensile strength. Okay, flexibility and elasticity to plant or plant parts. Your jute fiber, hemp fiber, they are all example for sclerenchyma fibers pasangla. Unga coconut la varudilla, and the coconut shell la irukradhu, and the fibers, they are also example for sclerenchyma. Okay, intercellular spaces illa, they are very irukku, yes, because they are telling they are loosely arranged. Okay, if you go here, they say that it is loosely occur in single or loose group. So definitely intercellular spaces is present. Okay. Yes. So now we'll move on to complex permanent tissue. Okay. Is simple permanent tissue clear pasangla? Complex permanent tissue panalama? Can I get a victory sign in the chat section? See, as I already told you, idu romba perusa kuduthirukanga, confuse panna venda, but everything about xylem and phloem is summarized in one table. Idu onnu padicha podum, you can answer any question. Okay, so stay with me pasangla. So modala nama enna paaka poradhu, xylem. Xylem oda function enna pa, in the xylem phloem nama enna solluvom, we call it as vascular tissues modala, right? Why do we call this as vascular tissue? Can anyone tell me why do we call xylem and phloem as vascular tissue? Because they help in conduction of water and food. Okay, vascular tissues nalu onnu da, xylem and phloem nalu onnu da. Okay, sis, yes, xylem is unidirectional, phloem is bidirectional. Okay, so what is the function of xylem? Xylem conducts water. Water matram illa pasangla, it conducts water and minerals from the root to all the aerial parts of the plant. Okay, idukku munnadi we had one chapter, transport in plants. Adha vandu romba alaga solli kuduthirpaanga, how does the transport of water happen in solli. And one more thing, they provide mechanical support. Okay, so நிறைய பேருக்கு xylem என்ன cells இருக்கு, phloem என்ன cells இருக்குன்ற confusion எப்பவுமே இருந்துட்டு இருக்கும். Okay, so by the end of the session you should not have that confusion. So what is this xylem made up of? Xylem is made up of tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Okay, அதே மாதிரி இங்க வந்தீங்கன்னா your phloem is made up of sieve tubes, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Pasangla, this fibers and parenchyma is common to both xylem and phloem. Okay, how they differ is presence of tracheids and vessels and presence of sieve tubes and companion cells. Okay, so everyone put it in the chat section. Tracheids, vessels, fibers, parenchyma. 𝒑𝒓𝒊𝒐𝒓. Okay, similarly here, sieve tubes, companion cell, parenchyma, fibers. 𝒔𝒄𝒄𝒆𝒃𝒓. Okay, in this way you can remember it. Xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, okay, fibers, parenchyma. Okay, S for sieve tube, C for companion cell, P for phloem parenchyma, P for parenchyma and F for fibers. Okay, so இப்போ இதோட function என்னன்னு ஒன்னொன்னா clear-ஆ புரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். Okay, tracheid, vessel, parenchyma and fibers. Sieve tube, companion cell, parenchyma and fibers. Absolutely correct. Super, super. Okay. So, in the confusion here, TVFP is for xylem. SCPF is for your phloem. Okay. Yeah. இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்கலாம் tracheid na என்ன, vessel na என்ன, fiber na என்ன, parenchyma na என்னன்னு பார்க்கலாம். So, first, let's concentrate with xylem. Okay. So, let's talk about this. Xylem contains tracheids. Tracheids are elongated tube-like thick lignified walls. So what is a tracheid made up of? They are elongated. Imagine pannunga. Elongated. I will show you the pictures. Tubular and they have lignified walls that are present inside. Okay. Vessels. What are these vessels? They are going to help in, இப்போ எப்படி ஒரு pipe இருக்கு. What is that pipe going to do? It is going to help in the transport. Similarly, vessels are the one which are going to help in transport. Okay. So, they contain long cylindrical walls and they are lignified. ரெண்டுமே lignified. That means what, pasangla? If they are lignified, they are dead. Okay, now let's talk about fibers. So what is this fiber? They are highly thickened walls. Okay, may or may not be septate. What is septate? What is septate? Septate means one cell having one nucleus. Okay, what is aseptate? One cell having many nucleus. Okay, septate means cell wall present. Okay, aseptate means there is no cell wall. Okay, then coming to parenchyma. So parenchyma கண்டிப்பா அந்த xylemக்கு சாப்பாடு தேவை, அந்த xylemக்கு nutrients தேவை, கரெக்ட்டா? அந்த xylemக்கு ஸ்டோர் பண்ண சில things தேவை. That is going to be your xylem parenchyma. Yes, only xylem parenchyma is living. Absolutely correct. Okay, they are living cell, they are thin wall. The cell wall is made up of cellulose and radial conduction is made by parenchyma. Ma'am, radial conduction na enna ma'am? Upward conduction na இப்படி. Correct? Radial conduction na, the plant is like this. There should be conduction that is happening in this way along the radius. That is what we mean by radial conduction. Pasangla romba romba mukkiyam. Tracheids, vessels, fibers, xylem, parenchyma. Okay, if that's clear, we will move on to phloem. Okay, xylem oda function enna? They help in water and transport of water and minerals. As Janice said, it helps in unidirectional transport. எப்பவுமே தண்ணி வந்து கீழ இருந்து தான் மேல போகும், மேல இருந்து கீழ வராது. Okay, the same thing now we are going to discuss about phloem. Okay, is everything about xylem clear, pasangla? Is everything about xylem clear? Can we move on to phloem? Phloem வந்து நம்ம we call it as a food conducting tissue. Okay, it is a bidirectional transport. So bidirectional na enna pasangla? The leaf is there, okay. From the leaf, it has to go to all the aerial parts, to the tip of the tree. அது எவ்வளவு பெரிய tree இருந்தாலும் சரி, right? So the food has to be transported and it has to go to the last tip of my root hair. Till that the food has to be transported. So it happens both upward and downward. So we call it as a bidirectional mode of transport. So என்னோட phloemல 4 important ஆன cell இருக்கு. Sieve tube, okay, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem fibers. ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான திங் என்னன்னா உங்க sieve tubeல நியூக்ளியஸ் கிடையாது. They are enucleated. They can ask you which plant cell does not have a nucleus? Sieve tube. Okay. Can anyone tell me which animal cell does not have a nucleus? Can you guys tell me which animal cell is enucleated? Plant cell which is enucleated is sieve tube element. Which is enucleated, absolutely correct, RBC. So we revise one thing very quickly. Okay, they are long, tubular like, arranged longitudinally, and the end walls are perforated. That is the sieve plate or plate marina structure. That's pore. I will show you the pictures. Okay, then companion cell. In the sieve tube, nucleus correct. So that company are companion cells. Okay, so in the sieve tube yaar paathukra? Companion cells. Companion na inna very good friend, someone who takes care of it very well. That is what is your companion cells. They are associated with sieve tube. Why are they associated with sieve tube pasangla? Because my sieve tube does not have a nucleus. Okay, rombo easy. Then phloem parenchyma, I already told you, they are long cylindrical, they store food. Then have phloem fibers, they are made up of sclerenchyma, your jute, flax and hemp fibers, jute bag, they are all nothing but your phloem fibers. Yes, they are all your phloem fibers. Okay, and then you have all these are used for your commercial purposes. Okay, so inga rendu vidhamana or kuduthirukanga. You have two kinds of xylem and phloem. Okay, one second. You have primary xylem and then you have secondary xylem. Adhe mari you have primary phloem and you also have secondary phloem. So can anyone watching the live? Yeah, all are non-living. Yes. Can anyone watching the live tell me, idliya companion cells is living? Companion cells is living. Okay. You're asking in phloem, right? In phloem, companion cells is living. Okay. Primary xylem na enna? Secondary xylem na enna? Anyone can you tell me? Primary xylem is the first formed xylem. And the plant வந்து எங்கா இருக்கும்போது produce ஆகக்கூடிய xylem தான் நம்ம primary xylem னு சொல்றோம். So what is this primary xylem and primary phloem? They are the first formed. Okay, and the secondary xylem and secondary phloem are later formed. Okay, எல்லாருக்கும் புரிஞ்சுதா? Primary xylem na enna, secondary xylem na enna, primary phloem na enna, secondary phloem na enna. என்னோட plant எங்கா இருக்கும்போது primary xylem, primary phloem produce ஆகுது. என்னோட plant அப்படியே வளரும்போது you have the secondary xylem and secondary phloem that is present. Okay, yes. So இப்போ இத பேஸ் பண்ணி பசங்களா we have two important conditions. Okay, so protoxylem, metaxylem. Okay, so protoxylem na enna? It is a first formed xylem. Adhe mari da inga. Okay, so one second, where did it go? Okay, adu miss aichi. Protoxylem is the primary xylem. Okay, metaxylem is the secondary xylem. If the protoxylem is towards the center, or pith mari irukum, or center or pith mari irukum. If the protoxylem is towards the center, we call it as endark. Okay, if the metaxylem is towards the center, we call it as exarch. Okay, rombo mukkiyamaana vishayam. Okay, I'll write it and show you. Idhu unga first form xylem nu vechukonga. Okay, this is your proto, this is your meta, and this is your center. Okay, if the protoxylem is towards the center, we call it as endark. என்னன்னு சொல்றோம் பசங்களா? Endark ன்னு சொல்றோம். Okay, if this is meta, this is proto. Okay, and if this is, if my meta is towards the center, I call it as exarch. நிறைய பேர் கன்ஃபியூஸ் ஆகும். நிறைய பேருக்கு இந்த ஒரு கான்செப்ட் கன்ஃபியூஸ் ஆகும். Protoxylem na first form xylem. If the protoxylem is towards the center, we call it as endark. Okay, if the metaxylem is towards the center, we call it as exarch. Is it clear pasangla? Any doubts here? Any doubts? Can I get a victory sign if everything is clear? இப்போ வந்து clear-ஆ படிக்கலாம். Pictures ஓட clear-ஆ புரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். Okay, So you have xylem. Xylem has a dual function. Enna pasangala xylem oda function? It is going to help in transport of water and minerals. Unga phloem is going to help in transport of only your food, whereas your xylem is going to help in transport of water and minerals both. Okay, what is it made up of? Vessels, tracheids, parenchyma, fibers. Okay, now phloem is a living tissue. It is responsible for transporting organic nutrients. It is made up of following element: sieve elements. Okay, we have your companion cell, parenchyma, fibers. Okay, yes. Stem, end dark. Okay, good, good. Yes, only one living. Yes, only one living. That's why they have put it as living tissue. In the companion cell, parenchyma kuda living dana. Parenchyma is also living, right? Companion cell and parenchyma both are living here. Okay. Yes. Structure kuduthirukanga. Structure and function of xylem. It already nama discuss pannadha. Okay, you can see how nicely they have given vessels. Okay, then you have your tracheids. Tracheids will be surrounding your vessels. They are dead cells with no cytoplasm and intercellular space. Lignified cell wall. Pits. They have tapered ends. The elements have open end. Okay, and parenchyma cells are present in between xylem. Function, very important. They conduct tubes for water and minerals. Okay, they are strong enough to resist suction force. And I think all of you know about the transpirational pull, correct? So what is transpirational pull? Transpiration nadandite irukku. Okay, there is a loss of water in the form of water vapor through your leaves. Okay, that creates a suction pressure, and that is going to help in drawing water from my roots. Okay, that is what we call it as suction pressure. Okay, and they improve the flexibility of the stem in the wind. Xylem mode of function. Okay, then you have xylem vessels. Romba clear ah kuduthirukanga inga parunga, idudha ungaloda vessel element. Okay, you can see your tracheids and you can see your xylem parenchyma cells. Okay, so the vessel elements are long and hollow. They lack protoplasm. They have given, they are arranged end to end. The role of xylem is to transport water, and secondary wall thickenings be in the form of spirals, rings and pit. Can you see? எவ்வளவு அழகா இருக்கு பாருங்க. The secondary wall, okay, it is either in the form of spiral, okay, or it is present in the form of rings, or it is reticulate. Okay, yes. Tracheids. Tracheids have thick secondary wall and tapered at the end. The thick walls of the tracheid provide support, and that's why your plant is very strong. Okay, this tracheid overlap with one another with pairs of pit present, which allow the water to pass horizontally from one cell to another cell. Okay, yes, inga paranga pits irukku. So the pits la enna agum, there will be transport of water very easily. Okay, yeah. Now xylem, I already told you, protoxylem and metaxylem. Protoxylem, it occurs towards the center. Metaxylem occurs towards the periphery. Inga parunga, protoxylem is towards the center, metaxylem is away. Adha nama end dark nu solrom. Can anyone tell me where is end dark condition seen? Okay, exact protoxylem occurs towards the periphery. You can see protoxylem occurs towards the periphery. Okay, it occurs in the root of vascular plant. It occurs in the stem. Rombo rombo mukkiyam. End dark enga irukku, stem la irukku. Exarch enga irukku, root la irukku. It results in centripetal arrangement. It results in centrifugal. Centrifugal na away from the center. Centripetal na towards the center. Okay, yes, this is in stem, this is in root. Again, this is very, very important for NEET exam. Though there is no secondary growth, this is very important. End dark na enna, exarch na enna, where they are present. End dark is in stem, okay, and exarch is in roots. Okay, can we continue pasangla? Phloem patti paatittu irukom. Phloem contains, it is going to help in transport of organic nutrients. It contains sieve elements, parenchymatous cell, and companion cell and phloem fibers. This structure romba clear ah purinjukonga. Idha ungala sieve tube member. Okay, you can see a plate like structure here, sieve plate. Okay, and this sieve plate contains pores like this. They are called sieve pores. Okay, and they are surrounded by companion cells. Inga parunga, நான் சொன்னல இதுக்கு ஒரு friend தேவை, because my sieve tube does not have nucleus, so I have a friend, and that friend is called companion cell. And then this companion cell is surrounded by parenchyma, and then you have your fibers. Okay, this is how it looks. So companion cell function enna? I already told you they have large number of ribosome and mitochondria. It has many plasmodesmata. Now I want everyone to tell me what is plasmodesmata. We have discussed this recently. நம்ம என்ன chapterல cell structure and functionல படிச்சிருக்கோம். Plant growth and developmentலயும் படிச்சிருக்கோம். What is plasmodesmata? Can anyone tell me plasmodesmata? They are the junctions. இப்போ ரெண்டு plant cell இருந்துச்சுன்னா ரொம்ப clear-ஆ பாருங்க. They actually connect the two plant cells. Okay? They are cell junctions which are present only in plant cells. அததான் நம்ம intercellular connections ன்னு சொல்றோம். They connect one cell to the other cell. Okay? So you have this plasmodesmata which are abundantly present in your companion cells. Okay? Yeah. Sieve tube elements are long conducting cell with cellulosic cell wall. They are living with no nucleus or organelle such as vacuoles or ribosomes. So they are telling your sieve tube element is living. Okay, because it has cytoplasm. But it does not have any nucleus, any organelle such as vacuoles and ribosome. So it's clear your companion cell is living and your sieve tube element is also living. Okay, yes. Due to the presence of organelles or nuclei in sieve tube, companion cell perform the cellular function of sieve tube. This already சொன்னது. They allow the transfer of sucrose containing sap over a large area. So என்ன நடக்கும்னா பசங்களா, I'll just show it to you. So you have glucose. This glucose is produced in my leaf. It's a product of photosynthesis. Glucose is converted into sucrose. This sucrose is converted into starch. Okay, இப்போ இது என்னோட leaf ன்னு எடுத்துக்கோங்க. Okay, and imagine this is my stem, right? So here there has to be transport of food from here into the vascular bundle. We call it as loading. Okay, sap loading ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். It is a movement of sucrose from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, that is what will happen here pasangla. This is what we call it as bidirectional transport. இது வந்து நம்ம bulk transport ன்னு சொல்றோம். Transport through phloem is called bulk transport. Transport in plants இருந்துச்சுன்னா உங்களுக்கு இன்னும் clear-ஆ புரிஞ்சிருக்கும். But that chapter is deleted. That chapter is not there. Okay. Yeah. That's about your phloem pasangla. Now we'll get into something very, very important. Tissue systems. Epidermal, ground and vascular tissue. Okay. So நம்மளோட plantல வந்து மூணு விதமான tissues இருக்கு. Epidermal tissue இருக்கு, ground tissue இருக்கு, vascular tissue இருக்கு. So we finished the tissues. Now we are going on to tissue system. Okay. So the first one is epidermis. So what is epidermis? It is a single layer of cells that is going to cover my leaves, flowers, roots and stem. என்னோட நாலு இம்பார்ட்டன்டான பார்ட்ஸையும் கவர் பண்ற ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் ஆர் கவர் பண்ற ஒரு டிஷ்யூ, ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ற ஒரு டிஷ்யூவை தான் நான் எபிடெர்மிஸ்ன்னு சொல்றேன். Okay, it is the outermost layer and it is going to have a protective role. Okay, so say for example your stem. Okay, stem in your leaf, there is something called as cuticle. Okay, can anyone tell me what is this cuticle? So you can see first, this is my epidermis in the green color cell therida, adha epidermis. Okay, and this epidermis has a moist layer upon it called cuticle. What is cuticle and what is its function? Can anyone tell me? And you also have certain stems have some modification called trichome. Trichome endrathu the hairs that are present in stem hair. Okay, then very important, epidermis la enna irukku, stomata irukku, romba romba mukkiyam. So epidermis also has stomata. Okay, I asked you a question. Cuticle oda function enna pasangla? What is the function of cuticle? Cuticle, yes. So cuticle is a waxy layer. Enna pasangla cuticle endrathu? It is a waxy layer. Okay, it is going to prevent transpiration, prevent excessive transpiration. Illa, I am going to complete epidermal tissue system. Okay, the anatomy naalek pandren. Okay, so it is a waxy layer. It is made up of suberin. Okay, it prevents transpiration, excessive transpiration. Transpiration nadakum, ana it's going to prevent excessive transpiration. Purinjada pasangla? What is the function of cuticle? Any doubts? Okay, next. You have trichomes. I told hair-like structure. What could be the function of this hair-like structure? Yes, any idea? Any idea about what could be the function of this hair-like structure? Trichome is going to increase the area. Surface area வந்து increase பண்ணும். Okay, so this cuticle is present both in the leaves and both in your stem. Then, ரொம்ப முக்கியம் stomata. Okay, so can anyone tell me what could be the functions of, yeah, it prevents water loss. Absolutely correct. Stomata out of function. இதுதான் உங்க epidermal tissuesல இருக்க எல்லா விதமான cells. Trichome, stem hairs, subsidiary cells. Where are they present? They are present surrounding your guard cells. Okay, then you have cuticle. They are going to prevent excessive transpiration. Then you have stomata. This is your stomata. Okay, and you have root hairs. Root hairs sort of function in they increase the surface area of absorption. இது ரொம்ப முக்கியம் பசங்களா. And you have guard cells. Okay, trichome, subsidiary cell, cuticle, guard cell, stomata. And you have root hairs that is present in your root. And one more thing pasangla, in my root there is no cuticle. Can you guys tell me why? Can you guys tell me why there is no cuticle in the root? Yeah. நீங்களே ஆன்சர் சொல்லிரலாம், ரொம்ப ஈஸி. ஸ்டெம்ல லீஃப்ல cuticle இருக்கு, ரூட்ல ஏன் cuticle இல்ல? Cuticle இருந்தா என்ன ஆகும்? Do you think your roots will be able to absorb the water? No, they will not be able to absorb water. So that is why there is no cuticle that is present in the root. ரொம்ப important ஆன learning இது. Okay? Yes. Now let's try to understand what it is made up of. What are the things which we have already discussed? Or recap மாதிரி பார்த்தரலாம். Okay, they are made up of single layer. ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Epidermis என்றது multi layer கிடையாது. They are made up of a single layer of cells. Okay, compactly arranged cells, very little intercellular spaces. They have a large vacuole. Okay, and outside is often covered with a thick layer called cuticle, and it prevents the loss of water, and they are absent in roots. I already discussed this. Cuticle வந்து rootsல இல்ல, கிடையவே கிடையாது. Why? Because if it was present in roots, they will not absorb water. Okay, ரெண்டாவது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம் stomata. I can expect questions on stomata in my exam. Okay, where are they present? They are present in the epidermis of my leaf. Okay, what is the function? The stomata function in that they regulate transpiration, and அதோட முக்கியமான function, they help in gaseous exchange. Okay, if there is no stomata, there will be no carbon dioxide that will enter your leaf, and there will be no photosynthesis. ரொம்ப important ஆன விஷயம். Okay, so plants take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen, and majority of this exchange happens in your stomata. Okay, and this entire thing we call it as stomatal apparatus ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். What is this made up of பசங்களா? It has stoma. என்ன இருக்கு பசங்களா? முதல்ல stoma ன்னு சொல்லி ஒன்னு இருக்கு. That is the opening. Okay, and this stoma is surrounded by two guard cells. Okay, guard cells ன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு செல் இருக்கு. And these guard cells are in turn surrounded by subsidiary cells. Okay, subsidiary cells. And these subsidiary cell, guard cell, stoma, இது மூணுமே சேர்த்து நாம என்னன்னு சொல்றோம்? Stomatal apparatus ன்னு சொல்றோம். Okay, we call it as stomatal apparatus. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். Okay, in grasses, okay, the stomata is dumbbell shaped. இது ரொம்ப முக்கியம். They have asked once in PYQ. இந்த மாதிரி dumbbell மாதிரி இருக்கும். Okay, where? In grass. Grass na என்னப்பா? Monocots. Okay, whereas in your dicots, it is kidney shaped or bean shaped. Okay, இந்த மாதிரி. புரிஞ்சதா பசங்களா? Very important. This they have asked in NEET exam. Okay, I will discuss a PYQ. You will understand it better. Okay, now who is controlling the opening and closing of the stoma? Can anyone tell me? Who is controlling the opening and closing of the stoma? Will the stoma always remain open? No. Will the stoma always remain closed? There is something that is controlling, right? So can anyone tell me who controls the opening and closing of stoma? It is your guard cells. ரொம்ப முக்கியம். The guard cells controls the opening and closing of stoma pasangla. Rombo mukyamana vishayam. Okay, so now let's see what else is there. Yeah, the outer walls of guard cell are thin and inner walls are highly thick. This line is very important. In the outer wall irukla, in the outer wall enna solranga, they are very thin, and the inner wall, this inner wall is highly thick. Okay, every line is a potential question in your exam. Now that secondary growth has been removed, there can be more question from this part. Okay, earlier lot of question used to be asked only from secondary growth. Now that is removed, so idla irundhu nariya question kekkalam. Guard cell possess chloroplast and regulate the opening and closing of stomata. Okay, rombo clear ah purinjikonga. When the stomata, when the guard cell is turgid, what will happen? The stomata will open. Okay, when the guard cell is flaccid, the stomata will close. Okay, so subsidiary cell, I already told you, they are specialized epidermal cell which are present near the guard cell. And this aperture is called as a stomatal aperture. Okay, this apparatus, aperture kadiyadu, this is apparatus. Stomatal apparatus. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா பசங்களா? Guard cells are very important. The guard cell control the opening and closing of stoma. Okay, உங்க rootல என்ன இருக்கு? Root hairs இருக்கு. What are these root hairs? They unicellular elongation. Okay, they help in absorption of water and minerals. Trichomes are epidermal hairs present on stem. Root hairs are present on root. Okay, what is the function? They may be secretory in function. They prevent water loss due to transpiration, and they also, root hairs increase the surface area of absorption. So more the root hairs, greater the surface area of absorption and greater the rate of absorption of water. Very important pasangla. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation that is given. Okay, so this is bean shaped, that is present in your dicots. இது எங்க இருக்கு பசங்களா? உங்க dicotsல இருக்கு. இது எங்க இருக்கு பசங்களா? உங்க monocotsல இருக்கு. Monocotsல எந்த மாதிரி shape? Dumbbell தூக்குவாங்கல gymல, same, it's dumbbell shaped. Okay, here it is bean shaped. Okay, yes. The next one we have ground tissue. So what is ground tissue? It is a tissue that is present between epidermis and vascular bundle. என்னோட epidermis இருக்கும், அது கீழ என்னோட vascular bundle இருக்கும். அதுக்கு நடுவுல இருக்க tissue தான் என்னோட ground tissue ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, this definition is very important. It consists of, what is there in ground tissue? Parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Okay, so what is the function of ground tissue? They help in photosynthesis, they support vascular system, and they store nutrients. These are the three important functions: photosynthesis, support and nutrient. Okay, yes. So this is how are your vascular bundles arranged? Okay, this is very important. So vascular bundle na enna pasangla? Xylem and phloem. Okay, this is the third kind of tissue. We can even take it as vascular tissue. So they are arranged in radial bundles. Radial bundle na enna pasangla? They are arranged along a same radius. Okay, xylem and phloem form separate bundle alternating with each other. That is, they lie on different radii. So this is a radial type. Okay, xylem taniya, phloem taniya, each of them in each radii. Okay, then you have concentric vascular bundle. When xylem and phloem are concentrically arranged, one surrounds the other. Concentric, and the mari. Okay, conjoint, when xylem and phloem, they combine into one bundle. Okay, so that is what we call it as a conjoint kind of bundle. Okay, so male xylem, keela phloem. If it is there, then we call it as conjoint. Okay, then you have amphicribal and amphivissal. Okay, this is not there in your syllabus. Okay, conjoint la வந்து ரெண்டு விதம் இருக்கு, open and closed. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is conjoint open and what is conjoint closed? Conjoint means xylem and phloem together. What do you mean by open and what do you mean by closed? Yes, conjoint open na enna, conjoint closed na enna? At least by seeing this picture. Here, in open type, there is a cambium that is present between your xylem and phloem. This is your xylem, this is your phloem. Similarly, this is your xylem, this is your phloem. In your closed type, there is no cambium. Okay, yes. Cambium present in open, cambium absent in closed. Okay, pasangla, புரிஞ்சுதா? இந்த அளவுக்கு புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. Tomorrow we will come up with anatomy. We'll try to understand root, stem and leaf. Okay? Yes. Yeah. This is open, this is closed. Cambium is present. Closed, cambium is absent. Okay? Yeah. We have some PYQs. Therida, clear arka? Okay, let me see how many of you will answer this. This is NEET 2021 question. Cells with active cell division rapidly. So obviously, which cell will divide rapidly? It is meristematic tissue. Okay, tissue having all cells similar in structure and function. That is your simple tissue. Okay, so this is simple. So B is 4. Tissue having different types of cell. Different tissue having different type of cell. Vascular tissues. C is 1. Okay, dead cell with thickened, highly thickened walls and narrow lumen. It is your sclerites. D is 3. So what is the right answer, Pasangla? The right answer is 2413. So it is option C. So this was NEET 2021 question. You can expect match the following type question from this part. Okay. Yeah. Tell me this. This I didn't discuss, but it's there in your NCERT. Phloem in gymnosperm lacks what? Phloem in gymnosperm. This is clear. This picture is clear, Janice. I know this picture is not so clear. That's why I wrote it again here. I hope this should be clear, right? This was NEET 2019 question. Phloem in gymnosperm lacks both sieve tube and companion cell, albuminous cell and sieve cells, sieve tube only, companion cells only. Very good. Very good, both of you. Very nice answers. This is given in your NCERT. Your phloem in gymnosperm lacks both sieve tube and companion cell. Lacks na enna illa, and ஒரு particular structure illa. So gymnosperm phloem la enna irukku pasangala? Can anyone tell me? Gymnosperm phloem has what then? The gymnosperm phloem has albuminous cell and sieve cells. Okay, இந்த வாட்டி நீட்ல கேட்கலாம். Phloem in gymnosperm consists of albuminous cell and sieve cell. அதாவது sieve tube ன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டோம், sieve cell ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, then regeneration of damaged growing grass following grazing is largely due to. This also is a very easy question. Let me see how many of you will answer it. We discussed this. Yeah, very good, very good. Absolutely correct. Intercalary meristem. They have given very clearly NCERT la kuduthirukanga. So this was NEET 2019 question. Yeah, this is also very easy. இந்த மாதிரி question எல்லாம் இப்ப கேட்டாங்கன்னா ரொம்ப ஈஸியா ஆன்சர் பண்ணிடுவீங்க. Stomata in grass leaf are dumbbell shape, kidney shape, rectangular shape, barrel shape. What is the shape of the stomata in leaf of grass? Very good. It is dumbbell, monocotyle, dumbbell, dicotyle, kidney shape or bean shape. Both are correct. Okay. Specialized epidermal cell surrounding the guard cell. NEET 2016. Very good. Subsidiary cells. Okay. What are the cells called? Subsidiary cells. Yes. So anatomy of root, we will do it in the next class. Anatomy of root and stem, we have to deal it completely, very clearly. Okay, because many questions do come from that topic. Okay, so that is for today's session, pasangla. Next session la nama enna pannom? We started with meristematic tissue, we did simple permanent tissue, we did complex permanent tissue, and we did 3 important types of tissues, that is tissue system, ground tissue, epidermal tissue and vascular tissue. Okay, if everything is clear, please do give a victory sign in the chat section and also in the comments. Okay, so tomorrow we'll come up with anatomy, proper anatomy and நாளைக்கு பண்ணலாம். Okay, and after this we'll move on to morphology. So on the plant unit complete பண்ணிட்டோம்னா இன்னும் plant kingdom மட்டும் இருக்கு. That will complete that entire part. Okay, yes, if there is any doubt in the session, let me know, or else we will go for a quick rapid fire questions. Any feedback, anything, if you want me to add on, you can tell me. Yeah, so shall we start? Some 3 or 4 questions I'll ask. Okay. The presence of, listen to my question carefully, Pasangla. The presence of lignin in cell wall is a characteristic of dash tissue. Presence of lignin in the cell wall is a characteristic of dash tissue or lignified cell wall. Presence of lignified cell wall is a characteristic of dash tissue. Very good. Sclerenchyma. Super. Very nice. Okay. இன்னொரு விஷயம் சொல்ல மறந்துட்டேன். I just forgot this one thing. You have something called as parenchyma. Do you guys know what is this parenchyma? They are parenchymatous cell okay present in aquatic plants. எங்க இருக்கு? Aquatic plantsல இருக்கு. What do? They basically store air. என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? இவங்க வந்து ஏரை வந்து ஸ்டோர் பண்ணுவாங்க. Why do you think these aquatic plants need to store air? So when they store air, it is going to provide them buoyancy, okay, and it helps the plant to float. Okay, if you want the plant to float, they need something called as parenchyma. These parenchyma helps in storing your air. They are a specialized type of parenchyma. இது ஒன்னு சொல்ல மறந்துட்டேன். So I suddenly remembered it. Okay. Yeah. Next question. Collenchyma has intercellular space. True or false? Collenchyma has intercellular space. True or false? வெறும் ரெண்டே ரெண்டு ஆன்சர். Yes. No response. False. Because collenchyma has no intercellular space. Okay. Yes. Next question. Let me talk about xylem. Okay. So xylem, which is the there are 4 kinds of cells, right? Which is the cell that is going to help in storage of food? There are 4 cells in your xylem. The cell which helps in storing food. Yes, very good. Bharani Rajan Arumugam, very good. Thanks for joining. Yeah, what did I ask? The food storing tissue in your xylem. 4 tissues இருக்கா? Parenchyma, fibers, vessels, tracheids. இது 4ல எது வந்து food store பண்ணும்? Parenchyma genus. It is parenchyma. Always parenchyma is involved in storage. So the answer is parenchyma. Okay? Yeah. What is end-dark? What is end-dark condition? End-dark condition na enna pasangla? What is end-dark? Protoxylem is towards the center. That is what is end-dark. Protoxylem away from the center. That is what we call it as exarch. Okay? Yes, protoxylem inside, protoxylem at the center. Where do you see this end-dark condition? Where do you see this end-dark condition? Either it's in the root or the stem, end-dark. Root or stem. It's seen in the stem. Exarch is seen in the root. Okay? Okay, Pasangla. So that's for today's session. Hope this session was useful. Hope you guys have learned. இவ்ளோ படிச்சா போதுமா man? கண்டிப்பா போதும். இவ்ளோ இந்த டாபிக்ல இருந்து படிச்சீங்கன்னா போதும். Simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue, tissue system. இந்த மூணுக்கு இதே ரொம்ப ரொம்ப போதுமான ஒரு information தான். Okay, and please do solve PYQs. All that also we have done. Now what's your duty? You have to go read back and solve some extra questions and come back tomorrow. Come prepared for tomorrow's class. Thank you so much for learning with me. Do stay tuned for more bio learning. Do like, share, comment and subscribe. So comment matram konjam podunga. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Bye.